Welcome back. You're still watching Network Africa on Channels Television. Now, just before the break, we brought you updates from Burundi concerning what the United Nations is saying. And what the United Nations is saying concerning the country is that they should desist from every form of violence so that it will not lead to a compromise of the country's stability. And the opposition leader of Burundi, that's Mr. Agathon Rwasa, is also calling on the president, that's Mr. Pierre Nkurunziza, to form a national unity government in order to prevent and even a crisis that is looming. Well, for more updates on the results, which everyone is waiting for, we go live to Bujumbura, where Mr. Ndui Massa is standing by. He is a university lecturer and a media consultant. Mr. Ndui Mana, thank you very much for joining us again on the program. Mr. Ndui Massa, thank you for your time. How much longer before we know for certain who has won this election? We're having a bit of audio trouble there with Mr. Nduimana, but we can understand because there is some chaos going on in the country, and we will do our best to reconnect with him. But we're still looking at news from East Africa. As Kenya prepares to welcome President Barack Obama tomorrow, his lineup shows that the focus will be on security. The president will be welcomed by a country that had expected closer attention from a man they claim as their son. That's a sentiment felt acutely in the western Kenyan village where the 44th U.S. president's father was buried.
That don't go away overnight because Al-Shabaab is intricately entwined into our past history. We have a people in this nation who have believed in the notion that there are historical injustices committed against them. There is marginalization that they have suffered as a people. The entirety of the northern frontier district. And so Al-Shabaab has capitalized on these our weaknesses. From 9/11, America completely transformed itself. It became a learning spot. People travel the world over to America to go and learn in their institutions, in their police departments, in the universities on how to counter terrorism. So President Kenyatta will be wanting to tap from this immense pool of knowledge. How can we improve?
Now here's a lineup of what we expect to see happen when President Obama lands in Kenya, hopefully tomorrow. Now on Friday, that's July the 24th, President Obama will board Air Force One, and on arrival, President Uhuru Kenyatta will receive him at the Jomo Kenyatta International Airport in Nairobi, and he will leave for the U.S. Embassy in Gigiri, where he and his family will spend the night. But where they will be spending it remains top secret. On Saturday, President Obama will inspect a guard of honor mounted in his honor by a contingent of the Kenya Defense Forces, and he will then proceed to the United Nations complex in Gigiri to co-host the Global Entrepreneurship Summit with President Kenyatta. He will then meet representatives of the country's civil society organizations for deliberations, and Kenya's top opposition chiefs will meet President Obama on Saturday to brief him on the government's fight against corruption and growth of democracy. The president is then scheduled to return to the State House in Nairobi for a joint press conference with his host president, Mr. Kenyatta. Now, on his final day, that's on Sunday, the 26th of July, President Obama is scheduled to address about 5,000 Kenyans at the Kasarani Gymnasium. Mr. Obama will make a short trip to the Kenyatta University for a session with the students and the institution's management and open a leadership training facility. President Obama is later expected to visit the Nairobi National Park, and he will then proceed to Jomo Kenyatta International Airport for a send-off ceremony. Well, the White House does not plan to change President Obama's list for his trip to Kenya later this week, despite the disclosure of the presidential plane's Nairobi's arrival and departure times. Kenya Airways sent a notice through its public relations agency on Tuesday, giving the 40 to 50-minute window for Air Force One's landing in Nairobi on Friday and departure on Sunday. That's information considered not for public disclosure for security reasons, and the White House National Security Advisor, Susan Rice, confirmed that the Secret Service, which is charged with protecting the president, was aware of the breach but has opted to stick with the initial plan. Well, we have more news from East Africa, and we're going back to the Burundian capital, Bujumbura, where university lecturer and media consultant Mr. Jean Regis Nduimana is standing by. Mr. Nduimana, thank you for staying on the line.
Thank you for having me. Hope you can hear me.
Yes, I can hear you loud and clear. Thank you very much. Now, how much longer before we have the results of the elections?
I don't think we don't need any more day, because people are starting celebrating here. Like the ruling party, the CNDD-FDD, have started celebrating. He declared that they are satisfied with the results, and some speculation have been starting to going around on whoever going to be in the government, whoever going to accept Nkurunziza's offer in the political game ahead of these elections.
Isn't that jumping the gun? The fact that they're celebrating does not mean they've made any announcement. But when do you think we're going
again?
I'm saying the fact that they're celebrating does not mean we've actually heard the official results, and we can't take this. You cannot equate the celebrations to official results. So when do we expect to actually hear that announcement?
I think by tomorrow, the president of Electoral Commission, the independent one, maybe announced the results tomorrow. That they are still counting some areas, but you know, as when the ruling parties have been starting declaring their satisfaction on the national TV and the national radio, that is nothing else we can expect.
Well, Mr. Nduimana, we will reach out to you tomorrow, but I would like to ask at this point, how are Burundians responding to what the opposition leader is suggesting, saying that Mr. Nkurunziza, or President Nkurunziza, should form a national unity government in order to prevent a crisis? Are they being receptive?
They are being receptive, but there is some discussion that is going on here to know that if Agatogwasa, the main opposition figure, is going to accept being that in unity government. So people are like waiting for his declaration, his announcement. But remember that there is something which is going on outside the country. The opposition members are expecting that rebel movement, that new political platform, is going to take action within the next days. You see, some opposition members are quite waiting for whatever comes from their leaders now.
Oh, Mr. Nduimana, thank you very much for your updates. We'll reach out to you hopefully again tomorrow, and please stay safe. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Mr. Jean Regis Nduimana reporting from the Burundian capital, Bujumbura. And you've also been doing some talking on our feedback platforms, both on Twitter and emails. We asked you how you felt about President Nkurunziza riding to his hometown to vote. And here's our top tweet of the day. And this is coming from David Arogundade, and he says that he thinks President Nkurunziza was trying to be humble and sell himself for a third term in office. Now, top mail of the day is coming from Dominic. He says, my own opinion is that I don't think it's necessary for him to go back to his hometown to vote, for whatever will be will surely be. We'd like to say a big thank you for your tweets, and please and your emails as well. Please feel free to keep them coming. On that note, here is our question of the day. It's still on Burundi, and we're asking, do you think a unity government is the solution to Burundi's political crisis? I'll take that again. Do you think a unity government is the solution to Burundi's political crisis? Feel free to reach out to us either via email or Twitter. The address and handle are right there on your screen. As always, it's been a pleasure. Thank you so much for watching Network Africa right here on Channels Television. I'm Cynthia Are.